Hello and welcome to Weird Around Illinois. In one of our recent podcasts, somebody posted a comment asking about the glowing eyes of one of the cryptids we were talking about, and that got us into a bigger discussion about, do cryptids' eyes really glow, and what other interesting properties do they have? So let's talk about it and let's get weird. Glowing eyes is something that we often hear associated with Bigfoot, dogman, mothman, but we also hear all kinds of other things, like different eye colors for these different cryptids and different powers that these eyes might have if you were to look into them. So why don't we start with the one that launched it all, the glowing eyes?
So, there have been quite a few sightings of dogman, mothman, and a couple others that others might think of. They have glowing red eyes, mainly. Sometimes they're yellow, but mainly red. There's not really an explanation about that. Many people kind of connect that to almost a sorcery of some kind, I guess you could say. But some people would also just write it off as it just being eye shine, because for dogman anyway, you're driving down a road often these sightings are, and they see like dogman like on the side of the road with their headlights on at night as well, keep in mind. So that would kind of point towards it just being like eye shine rather than just natural glowing eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely make that connection too. I remember when I was using that red flashlight in one of our expeditions. I think we were looking for mothman. When I shined that light, suddenly there were these creatures across the meadow that had glowing red eyes looking back at me. And I was like, oh my gosh, we found a colony of mothman. And then we realized they were deer. And it was just normal, eye shine.
Yeah, at that moment it was kind of intense because no one else saw what you were seeing.
Yeah,
so
it was the angle of the flashlight or something. You could only see it dead on. So I was looking right at it, and I thought you people were all crazy that you weren't seeing it.
Also, Bigfoot has been seen with glowing eyes sometimes.
Yeah, and there have been a number of weird glowing things associated with him, like the glowing orbs and sometimes the glowing red dots that turn out to be his eyes.
Yeah, or like a random green light, I think I've heard.
Oh yeah, the random green light. So those are all possibilities. Now one thing, this is kind of a sidebar, but I thought I would mention it. Humans, for the most part, don't have eye shine. If you shine a light in a human's eyes, it's not going to reflect like an animal's. And my brother and I got into a discussion on this a long time ago. He told me that he was always taught that animals have eye shine because they have no soul. It's just basically like a reflection from their eyes. There's no depth to it like in a human. That sounds like superstition, but maybe there's something to it because it does seem like most animals have eye shine and most humans do not.
Yeah, I've heard that there's a part of the eye that makes the reflection bigger on animals than humans. And I've heard theories. I think Cliff has said this from Finding Bigfoot. I think he's kind of known for the theory that cryptids could have, bigger eyes or bigger parts of the eyes that can have that big reflection.
Oh.
So that could explain why their eyes have a reflection from the moon, for example.
Well, that sounds like a much more scientific explanation than they have no soul.
Yeah.
Or, they might just have these animals. I'm thinking of a pug specifically. They might have really big eyes, maybe a deer as well. That might explain why they have more eye shine, or more common eye shine as well.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah.
And it might also explain why they see better in the dark. Maybe their eyes, maybe whatever part it is that you said that they have that we don't have as much of, allows more light to come in to their eyes at night. Well, the next thing that we associate with cryptids sometimes is the changing eye color.
Some people believe that the eyes on dogman, for example, can change. There's some theories that they could change based on maybe what mood they're feeling, if they feel like attacking someone, if they feel threatened, if they maybe just feel happy with people. It really depends.
Yeah, for one thing, I know that us humans, it has been kind of proven in many cases that our eye color does change slightly, whether it be over a long period of time or maybe it's just a little bit because of our mood or something that might affect it. Maybe we can apply that idea to dogman, but in a more, what's the way to put it, more not advanced, but in a bigger way.
Yeah, I'm living proof of that. And I've heard from many different sources who've observed it that while my eyes are normally brown, they go completely black when I get angry. So keep that in mind.
See, mine turn red when I get it.
Now, this isn't exactly changing eye color I'm gonna mention next, but I've heard some dogmen have like blue eyes, and they, at least in one encounter, they were described as like very positive kind of feeling or emotion that came out, I guess. Whoever this person was, they also saw like a dogman with red eyes, and they thought that was like they had an evil feeling.
Yeah, I'd love to know if these different kind of encounters show different emotions or different approaches, I guess, to a human in Dogman's viewpoint.
Yeah. Or, I mean, if we're looking for a scientific explanation for it, it could be what we talked about a minute ago with eye shine. It could be their normal eye color is blue or brown or green or whatever, but when a certain type of light hits it, it looks yellow. When another type of light hits it, it looks red. It's interesting. It's something that, you know, I hope someday we get to experience firsthand, so we can have a more in-depth look at it and figure out for ourselves what's going on.
Yeah, preferably with Bigfoot though.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to be trying different colors of light on Dogman's eyes.
Yeah, you're like, hey, can you look into this light real quick?
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn it red.
Good boy.
Yellow.
Now sit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't go well. So another thing that we talk about with the eyes of cryptids is their ability to hypnotize. And by hypnotize, I don't necessarily mean they take power over you, although that's certainly something they have been that has been attributed to them before. But I was thinking more about like time loss. You know, people claim they're looking at a cryptid, looking into its eyes, and suddenly they lose 2 hours and they're in the same spot and the cryptid's gone. Or the other thing is just the disorientation or the fear. You know, they look in a cryptid's eyes and suddenly they feel terror on a level they've never felt before.
Yeah, it's a very rare sense of fear.
Yeah, and you know, obviously some of it's justified if you're looking at a 7-foot tall, half man, half wolf, but the people who are reporting it say it's unnatural even for that level of terror. It's something more primal. It's something like that comes from deep inside them that on some level they know that they need to be more scared now than they ever have been in their lives, and they believe that might actually come from some sort of hypnosis from looking into the eyes.
Maybe Dogman is just that predatorial.
Maybe. But, you know, it's not just Dogman either. It's also Bigfoot. There are people who've looked into the eyes of Bigfoot and they've lost time or found themselves in a completely different place than they remembered being in. It can go a number of different ways. And, you know, that's before we even get into Mothman.
Yeah.
Mothman, his eyes are creepy to begin with, but I think if you look into the eyes of a Mothman, you can see the end of the universe.
Yeah. Now, with Mothman, not only does he have the glowing eyes, which I mentioned once before, there are some encounters where people claim that they literally faint at the sight of him, looking into those big beady eyes.
Yeah, and you know, of all the cryptids, if I were going to say one probably did have actual glowing eyes, it would probably be Mothman.
Yeah, there's something supernatural and a little bit scary about him.
Yeah.
They must be really powerful because people usually see them like from a distance, you know, like Mothman would be like on a bridge or on a building, something like that usually.
Yeah.
But if they see it from a distance and like faint, there must be something really powerful going on.
You know, I'm sure I mentioned this before, but you know, there was a string of episodes of Star Trek Discovery that seemed to feature the Mothman. It was like this red-suited winged creature with glowing red eyes, and it turned out it was some sort of time travel spacesuit.
Oh, yeah.
And after seeing those episodes, now I find myself questioning, could Mothman be some other human or being in some sort of spacesuit or some sort of, you know, time travel or dimension traveling suit?
Yeah.
That could explain the glowing red eyes. That could just be like the power, you know, the night vision that they wear or the eye protection that they wear or whatever.
Yeah. Well, also I've heard encounters where like the wings don't even move while they're flying.
Right.
That would really explain that.
Yeah.
Or Mothman is just a really big radioactive mutant.
That's a possibility too.
Which would kind of actually explain the fainting.
Yes. Yeah, and it would explain the disasters that occur near him as well, because maybe the radiation is actually causing bridges to deteriorate.
Yeah, it's melting the metal,
Yeah.
like the structure.
Those are some of the weird things that we attribute to cryptids' eyes, and I guess until you've seen a cryptid up close and personal, it's hard to have a solid answer on that. But I think most of the theories we talked about are certainly possible. I, again, hope we get a chance to research this further. I thank all of you for listening. I thank all of you for subscribing, and if you have more information to share with us, by all means, reach out. Thank you.